What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Dripping Creativity Podcast. My name is Chris Corvan. I am your host, and today we are joined by the unforgettable Aster. Aster is an artist, writer, all-around amazing person, and we're going to discuss her latest book, her love of Pokemon, and the cults that she has founded. Please don't forget to check out the Dripping Creativity Pride livestream on June 29th, raising money for the Trevor Project with over 25 creators. And grab some fantastic merch over at the shop online. Links are going to be down below. Now, let's get right into it. And Aster, why don't you tell us all a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Aster. I don't know, Chris. I don't know. I'm me. I have no defining features worth mentioning here.
That's literally why I make people do this, is because it puts them on the spot and they're like, I don't know what to say about myself.
All right.
That's okay, because we're going to be talking about you the entire time, so it's fine. That's kind of the whole point of this show right here. So
all right, fair.
So, Aster, you have a cult. I think that's probably the best way to start this one. Is by discussing
which cult?
your cult. Well,
which cult?
It's always a great way to start. Is which cult do you want to talk about first? Let's start with the first one.
All right, the first one's definitely the Bedhead cult. That one was founded much earlier than the Potato cult.
Okay. Well, tell me about this Bedhead cult. How did it start?
Well, my hair has a peculiar ability to defy the laws of physics on natural Earth, and apparently likes to twist itself into sculptures in my sleep. I began sharing that on Threads whenever it was specifically grand, and then predicted how my day would go based on what my hair looked like.
So then the question is, how reliable were the predictions?
Oh, well, the power of the bedhead is only surpassed by my own determination. Mm-hmm. So if my prediction is said, I am unable to not make it true.
Yeah, I see.
So therefore, there is a 100% accuracy. I mean, there has been a couple times where the days got swapped on accident. There was some paperwork errors up in the bedhead god department. That was on them, though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Those were clerical errors.
God damn, it's hard to find good help these days.
It's so hard,
especially in the cults, man. It's so hard.
I mean, cult help is hard to find, but once you have it, it usually sticks around forever.
That, you know what, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there at all. Okay, so that's the first cult. Let's now discuss the second cult.
All right, the second cult is the Potato cult, of which I am the queen.
Queen Potato. All right, continue
on. This one came kind of out of left field. I wasn't prepared for a potato cult. So I call people potatoes, especially to be more inclusive gender-wise, identity-wise. It's just easier to call everybody potato than to mess something up, Also, potatoes are delicious, and everybody knows that potatoes are important. And therefore, also, all of my people on like threads that I interact with, they're my potatoes because they're important. Everybody knows that.
So then when did it turn into a cult?
I'm not sure. People started tagging me in potato things. I started sharing, like I was stumbling on more potato things, so I was sharing some recipes. I was always tagging off and calling people potatoes and everything. It just kind of exploded, and then all of a sudden people are referring to me as the potato queen and the cult of the potato. And here I am. 2 cults. No more cults, though.
No more cults.
I now have a thing where if someone starts getting a little bit too excited about something in regards to me, I'm like, I have to stop you there. No cults. He's like, look, I'm glad you want to get excited about this with me, but I'm going to have to ask you not to found any cults.
You know what? It's important to set those ground rules, especially when it comes to cults, you know?
You
They
know,
get out of
two of
hand.
them just sprouted up out of nowhere. I don't have time for more cults than this.
It's so much paperwork. Like, again, it all goes back to the paperwork.
I hate paperwork.
There's so much paperwork.
Absolutely.
So you are an artist.
Hmm.
You quite enjoy doing tiny art, which is like the size of a dime. It's awesome and fantastic. And yeah, no, that's really the entire point of this whole thing. Like, there's no question involved. I just wanted to say that your art's awesome. So,
Oh, well, thank you.
what made you want to kind of do the tiny art thing?
It's just mostly a continuation of how I doodle. So I do other art. I'm actually not terrible at other art. I had a portrait art studio doing pencil and airbrush hyperrealism. Um, so doodling is what I do small on any piece of paper I could find whenever I was bored, whatever I could pop into my head and put down on paper. It was always just a short doodle, really small. And so trying to get back into art after an extended hiatus, I thought I'd start with doodles. You know, low pressure, high reward.
Big bucks in that tiny art.
I know. No, it's dopamine reward.
You know what? Very true. It's a lot like the single post stories of mine. It's quick just to get it out, and then it's like, oh, that feels good. That feels good. I feel good.
It's nice to create something, even if it's tiny, but it kind of like became a thing I started enjoying more than just as a doodle, and it's kind of grown from there.
Which is fantastic, and it's really how it all should go, especially with things like that, because you know, if you enjoy something that's a really big time sink, like it takes a long ass time, kind of wears off for people like us.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's why I like something tiny. First of all, you don't have to go hyper realistic, and two, it doesn't take very long. It's done because there's only so much space to work with. There is a limited amount of time you can spend on a tiny piece of art.
Only so much area.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a ton of tiny art and some really amazing shit there. If you could pick one to put into a Wonder in Civilization 6, which one would you pick? And I'll put it up on screen for people to see.
Oh, that one's I don't know. I'd probably add the wonder of Aster's Void. I'd just do the one of me crawling out of the circle. The ring one.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, no,
I could put that one in the sky and just be like,
Oh,
oh, the goddess Aster is coming for us out of the hole in the sky. She
Yeah.
doesn't look chipper.
This isn't the cult I signed up for.
This was the wrong cult. I regret choices.
So
You know, a lot of people regret their choices in cult. I would totally understand buyer's remorse.
it's okay. I get it.
I get it. This isn't one of those cults that are gonna, you know, ostracize you for leaving. We're just gonna call you an unimportant potato.
Wow. You know what? That kind of hurts more.
I know. It's terrible.
Really does. Okay, so then let's kind of go over some of the things that brought you quick rises in popularity, starting with T-Rex running.
Yes. My T-Rex running into Canada.
So first off, where did the T-Rex suit come from?
Let's see, how many years ago? 5 or 6 years ago, I bought one for Halloween because I was obsessed with all the videos. This is back when I actually watched internet videos. Probably also the last time I watched internet videos. That's how bad my cultural gap is now. But I was really into those dinosaur videos and I wanted one. So for Halloween one year, I got the inflatable dinosaur costume. And I mean, I don't exactly have a lot of funds. So this dinosaur costume kind of put me behind more than my usual costume budget. So I was determined to get everything I could out of it. I only just barely started filming my antics.
You have a couple ones. You had a goal where you tried to do a handstand.
I also had one where, well, I guess it wasn't so much. Well, it was a video of me jumping into the snow off a table.
Yeah.
That was the first one. And then there was the running to Canada. And then the headstand, yes.
And then the other one that kind of really popped off was talking about Canadian beer.
I was like, you know what? What if someone visits me? I want to have Canadian beer on hand so they feel at home. And so I thought I'd ask Canadians for their recommendations for what the most Canadian of beers was.
Which basically started a war. You pretty much started a war.
I did. This is when it became much more difficult for me to get into Canada.
So
I'm now an instigator.
This is true. So how many beer recommendations did you get again?
Oh, it was in like this. I mean, of unique ones or comments overall.
Oh, I think in total it was like 140, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot. Yes. I think I had a list of 60 or 70 different beers to try. I've gotten my hands on 2, which is excessively disappointing.
Yeah, that's kind of like, what the hell, man?
I know. I'm supposed to be taste testing and rating these beers, and at this point I have to start over.
Yeah, you've already forgot.
You know, it's been too long.
Yeah.
I did gain a lot of great Canadian followers from that, true. Though.
This is so then actually that goes into the Canadian thing, because that's kind of what originally brought us together was Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
So
our dearest God, Ryan.
Yeah, you know, as we all cherish and celebrate.
Yes.
Where did the urge to come to Canada and the love of Ryan Reynolds come from?
Well, the love of Ryan Reynolds is born into us all.
You're just like, everything you say is like cult related. You know that, right?
Look, I was raised in a cult. I don't know how to talk any other way.
Everything is cult coded.
Cult coded by Aster.
You know what? That's a brand right there. I dig that. Probably just end up cutting all of this off anyways. It's fine.
Save the podcast is sinking.
Yeah. No. It's just some things I just can't air. Just can't happen, man. I'll keep this part in, and then people will be like, "What was said?" I need to know what was
so
said.
Controversial.
It was so bad that he had to cut it from the podcast.
What could Aster have said that is unairable?
Chris never cuts anything. It had to have been so bad. So, what about Pokemons? I know you enjoy some Pokemons.
I do enjoy the occasional Pokemons.
Is it just collecting the stuffies, or is it kind of like the whole?
So I have a Pokemon trading card game collection, where I collect pretty much any set prior to 2006. And it's quite a good collection. I like it. I used to have my own trading card league for playing. I started with the video games. I've played pretty much at least one in every generation. Probably at least in a lot of generations, a couple of them at least, so I could get all the special Pokemon. Let's see, I've watched the television show, the original. I haven't gone past that, mostly because I just don't watch a lot of TV. And there's a lot of Pokemon TV.
So really what you're saying is it's more than just collecting stuffies. You're actually a pretty big fan of Pokemon.
Yes, you could say that.
So, all right. What does Aster want to do in the future?
Well, I'm writing a book. That's going to take a long time, though. It's one of those research-heavy books. So, and it wasn't what I planned. My whole plan was to take my grandmother's manuscript that she had left there, that I had read as a 16-year-old. I regret every choice I made there. But it also gave me a unique perspective of a 16-year-old raised in a certain mindset versus reading it as an adult with a whole different outlook on life. And so it plays into the book that I'm writing. But anyway, I pulled that out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make my grandma's dream come true. I'm going to publish her book. And I got like 2 pages in before I realized that her book is horrifying.
And in what way?
Well,
you don't have to get into it if you don't want to.
No, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to phrase it. Basically, it revealed the inner workings of my silent generation grandmother's mind, and the way she had to twist some very horrific things into being okay, and also like sexy, as I read her escapism romance novel. Also, the main character is 80s, like the main male character. Yep. She didn't even try to really hide that very much. Although the name, it's so SM. The character's name is like.
Love that name though. That is an amazing name. Oh my God.
Like,
I want that name now. Chris Corvan is no more. There is only.
Well, you can't, because as fate would have it, my is in a long-term relationship with none other than a.
Fuck off.
She has no idea about the manuscript. She's never read it. I have not mentioned it.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead serious, yes. As far as I know, he doesn't look anything like 80s, but the twist of fate has me reeling quite often. It makes it weird to write this novel.
Yeah, like, well, and I mean, now I have to bleep out that name.
Yes, you do, unfortunately. But
so people are not going to know what name we're talking about here.
That's what happens when fate takes your grandmother's novel that she wrote when I was 2. My youngest sister wasn't even born yet.
Like, what the hell are the chances?
The chances are so small. That name is so unique.
And so really what it boils down to, it's like, it's one of those real life is stranger than fiction. Because if you read that in a book, you would be like, there's no fucking way that would happen.
Right. Like, I can't know more than one.
No, now I gotta beep another one out.
I like to make you try.
I don't even remember where oh yeah, right. We were talking about the book with the name, and don't say it again. Don't.
I won't.
Okay.
I won't, I promise.
That was a horrible segue, Chris. Jesus,
that was
what the hell
terrible.
Was
that was terrible.
Yeah, all right. So tell me about this podcast you're thinking of having.
Okay, so my sister and I are planning on engaging in some of the worst sacrilege that we can think of. Speaking of the cult I was raised in, my sister and I plan to take a page of what is called the quad, and we're going to take a page out of that every day. We're going to roll it into a joint, and we are going to smoke it while we discuss the traumas of being raised in a cult, the impact of generational sexual trauma and misogyny on how we were raised combined with our cult experience, probably also politics here and there. We're going to be high off of, ink. We're probably going to be going some toxic places. Toxins in the lung, toxins in the brain.
So really, anybody that was only kind of half paying attention just had their head snapped with how fast this conversation turned.
Yes, they did. We're gonna be funny though, because we were raised in a performing arts family, so like we know how to play off each other. We're a great comedic team. We look completely opposite of each other, and the topics are just really going to be free range of whatever pops into our head while we're smoking our scriptures.
You know what? That's a good title right there. That is.
I mean, you're not wrong. Hold on.
Yeah. Write that shit down right now. Well, I know. We'll definitely have both of you on when you are closer to launching.
Yes.
Yeah, because that'll be a lot of fun and probably piss off a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. We're trying to figure out how to keep most of my family from finding out we have a podcast at all.
I don't know if you're going to be able to do that.
I don't know.
I'm just, thinking about it.
We might just have to say, hey, we have a podcast and we are doing heathen things. Please don't watch.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's because we're actually getting pretty close to the half an hour.
Oh wow.
Right. See? Yeah, you're all like, oh, we're getting nothing to talk about.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't even remember most of what we've talked about so far.
Neither do I.
I've just been ADHD freewheeling this.
That's pretty much what we do, and I'm way past my normal interview time, so the pills are gone out of my system. I don't even know what's happening right now. This is gonna be weird to edit. I'm gonna come back and edit this. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? We're gonna do a little bit of lightning round here. Okay. All right. Early bird or night owl?
Neither.
Neither. What's in between? What animal is in between?
A koala.
You know what? All right, I'll take it. Is there a book or a painting that you always wish you wrote?
No, see, I'm not quite like that. It's more there's things I wish I knew the person who had created it, because I don't have the need to have created something like that, but to have that connection to that greatness would be amazing.
Absolutely love that answer. That's a damn good answer. Favorite place to find inspiration?
Outdoors.
What type of outdoors is your go-to? If you had a choice of anything.
Michigan outdoors.
Yeah, can't argue that one.
I mean,
See,
I guess
thought you
I
would've said
could prefer.
Canadian.
I mean, Canadian outdoors would be great, but I'm still reeling from the fantasticness that is Michigan.
Enjoying it out there, are we?
Yes. Well, I also figure it's a lot like Canada, so it feels like my little American part of Canada. My American part of Canada? I don't know. However that's supposed to work.
Flip that. It's fine.
Yes.
Do you have a moment where you were like hit with such creative inspiration that it has stuck with you, where it's like this, I did this one thing and it was the coolest moment of my life?
Probably.
Not off the top of your head though.
Well, I don't tend to hold on to those moments. You know, they're good for their moment, but if you hold on too long, it can turn into a nostalgia, and it keeps you looking backwards a little.
That's a fantastic mentality. I really enjoy that. One word to describe your artistic style.
Tiny.
You know, I saw that one. I walked right into that one.
You did. You gave me
I knew
the
it was
easiest
coming.
answer.
I knew it was coming. I was hoping you were going to kind of step out of the box for a minute and take a swing. But
No.
you didn't.
I've been swinging everywhere else on the podcast. You know, I had to give you one predictable moment.
This is true. Cats, dogs, or another pet?
Cats, but
Okay.
I have nothing against dogs. The double coat
Thanks to you
ones,
trying
I'm
to calm the
allergic
dog
to.
people down.
Like, I'm allergic to double coat dogs, so I don't touch them in any manner, but I don't have anything against them. They're fun, adorable animals. I love them. I just cannot touch them.
I understand that one far too well. Pen and paper or digital tools for drawing?
Pencil and paper.
If you can live in any of the Civ 6 eras, which would it be? I stumped her on the Civ 1.
All of them, Chris. I want to live every time, everywhere, every moment of it. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even care. I'd be so happy just being able to go back. I'd just be like, send me blind. I'm happy with whatever gets picked. I'd just be so stoked for the opportunity.
That's not the point of the game, Aster. Pick one.
I guess I'd probably want to go back to... You really got me here, Chris. They're all wonderful. I'm scrolling through them in my brain. I'm like, oh, that one's good. Oh, no, but that one's good. Oh, but that one. Ooh. Well, we'll just go super fucking cliche, and I'll pick Cleopatra in Egypt.
You would.
I'm disappointed in myself, Chris.
You know what? You're gonna drop off the call, and you're gonna be like, shit, I should have chosen.
Now, see, I really like. So many of them are fascinating. I just.
Okay. We'll step away from it because apparently that one is just entirely too hard.
Yes, it really is.
I'm sorry for doing that to you. That's my fault. That one was all on me, you know?
All right. I'll forgive you.
Favorite thing about Canada that is not Ryan Reynolds?
Canada. Probably the nature.
Solid answer. I like that one. Your go-to T-Rex dance move?
I don't have a dance move outside of a T-Rex costume. So in it's usually something that looks a lot like, I don't know, maybe ballet. It's just mostly leaping and jumping and spinning and swirling because that's better than trying to actually look good while dancing in a T-Rex costume.
Yeah, you're in a T-Rex costume. You can't really pull off anything major.
No.
So the one thing we haven't covered here, and I am just curious, when it comes to having a Pokemon-themed onesie, have you had any wardrobe malfunctions?
Yes, I have. Actually a few, more than I think anyone on Threads knows. See, I had a onesie before the current one that it was beautiful. To replace it, it's like $80. So that's why I got the one I got next. I was not gonna, but I lost it in the move from Utah to Michigan, and so I was really sour about that. Anyway, it was a button up, and these buttons didn't do much other than hold the fabric specifically around where the button was. Everything else just kind of gaped open. So this was a few years ago, before the pandemic, probably by a couple years even. I'm watching my sister's dog, and I'm taking it out to use the bathroom to relieve itself, and she gets loose, runs off a bit. I start walking. Before I realize my buttons are gaping open and I'm not wearing anything at all under this Pikachu onesie that I'm now running around a neighborhood in. And it was really cold too. It was miserable. I hated that experience so much.
I'm sorry for making you relive this.
Well, to be fair, it was a very poor choice on my part that I then repeated, ironically, a short while ago.
Yep.
I thought I had learned my lesson about freewheeling it underneath the onesie. But with my second Pikachu onesie, this one came zipped, and that was on purpose. I wanted the zipped one.
So it
because
didn't
of
have
the
any
buttons.
issues. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there was a
Now,
button.
exactly. But it came with a butt flap zip as well. And on a recent walk, I was enjoying the weather. It was a lovely day, slightly chilly, but not overly uncomfortable. Walked around my neighborhood, did my thing, got in my steps, got back, sat down, and realized that the butt flap the zipper was broken. It had completely gaped open the whole entire journey around my new neighborhood.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Great way to meet the neighbors.
Yep. I had to sit there and try to remember if I bent over at any point. I'm still only 98% certain I didn't bend over during this excursion.
Chances are you'll never find out, so you're good.
Yep. I think anybody who witnessed anything would at least have the grace to keep it to themselves.
I mean, really, you should. Just anybody listening right now, if you see something like that ever, just, keep that shit to yourself.
Or if you have the opportunity, calmly tap the person on the shoulder or do something else to get their attention and say, by the way, your butt flaps open and you're not wearing underpants.
Really, it
Fair.
all worked out, as good as it could have been.
Really, honestly, it did, because at least now I can live in doubt that anyone saw anything.
Instead of knowing for sure.
As long as nobody comes forth with knowledge, we're fine.
So I was filming my YouTube video today when I saw this woman. Okay,
I was going through my Ring camera videos.
The penultimate question here. Favorite Pokemon type?
Electric.
Oh, which one?
Which one?
Which Pokemon?
Chris, my favorite type is electric, and we've been talking about a Pikachu onesie. I'm trying to let you know the answer here without.
I know. Look, but I'm giving you the option to choose any other possible Pokemon. There's a lot of them.
Oh, there are so many. In fact, there's more than there needs to be at this point.
I know.
Trust me.
As a Pokemon Go player, I am fully aware. So you're just going Pikachu? Is it?
To be fair, and this might have to get cut. I don't know how you feel about this, but my favorite Pokemon is not an electric Pokemon. My favorite type is electric. My favorite Pokemon is a water type. And it's Lapras. And it's my favorite because if you hatch it shiny, it's purple and it looks like a dick.
I have one of them in my Pokemon Go. I can vouch for everything she's saying right now.
So there you have it.
You know
That's
what?
my favorite Pokemon.
Out of everything I'm going to have to cut through this entire thing, that one's staying in. In fact, I might move that one to the front of this whole thing, just because. This is why I don't do late night interviews, people, because I don't have medication in me right now, and my brain is it's mush. So this is what.
To be fair, I don't have, filters. So this would have gone sideways whether you were medicated or not.
Well, no, because it's my job to keep the rails going. But I'm looking at the rails going, I don't fucking care. Fuck the rails, man.
Okay, but that's my therapist as well. They were always so mad because I could derail everything. Even the professionals can't keep me on track, Chris.
Okay, so then for the very final question of this interesting podcast, Aster, where can people find you?
On Threads, under Aster's Mystic Bedhead. That's pretty much where to find me. I don't have social media anywhere else. There's really nothing.
And just so we can keep you kind of accountable here, how long are you thinking until you start recording your podcast? Just so we have a date.
We are hoping for the end of July for the episodes to start going live.
Okay, there you go. You heard it here first. I got the exclusive. It's all
You
me.
do,
I
in
did it.
fact.
I did it.
I mean, pretty much a lot of people are learning about my endeavors for the first time here. I don't really talk about them publicly very much.
This is now the official cult newsletter.
The cult podcast.
The cult podcast. We'll just have you on like once a month so you can fill everyone in.
Yeah.
For all the cult members who can't really come to
And
the
now,
meetings.
in your cultish news, we bring you Aster.
Legit, you should add that to your podcast. Just some shit like that would be fantastic. Anyways, we will finish this now because it's just gonna keep going. This is gonna be a weird one to edit, man.
I don't envy you at all. Like, you know, I did notice that you did not ask what my favorite kind of potato was. I realize that's more for a second podcast.
That is definitely like, why would I infuriate the cult in any way, shape, or form? I'm not that stupid. So
The cult is very powerful.
all right. Anyways, we will wrap this up, which has been an hour. Oh God.
Look, it was that or just listening to Aster be bleeped out constantly. Like,
So, Aster, thank you so much for joining us. All I need you to do now is just say goodbye to everybody.
goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Aster, for this one hell of a conversation. Thank you to everyone for tuning in for this wild ride. If you enjoyed our chat, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with absolutely everyone. And check out the Drippin' Creativity Pride live stream on June 29th. Don't forget to grab the merch. Check us out. There is so much happening all over the place. It is going to be one hell of an amazing time. Until next time, stay creative, stay inspired. See ya.